Welcome back to Let's Freaking Play Higurashi Himatsubushi. For some reason, it didn't record, so I have to redo it. Didn't miss much though, just didn't even get through the intro, really. Okay, I've got to do something, as I said in the previous record attempt, something completely out of left field, and it involves this. It's like, what? Yes, well, god damn it, I just move that out of the bloody way a bit, so that I can at least switch windows when the time comes. Right, so, this is some guy on YouTube who did a let's play of a visual novel, sound novel. This might even actually be the big granddaddy of them all. 1992 this was released in, although it's playing the PS1 version, but it's actually, I think it might potentially be one of the first sound novels, but that's besides the point. It's on a Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1, he's playing PlayStation 1 version here. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been like trying to, you know, learn a bit more Japanese here and there. And this guy is like really good at translating this shit. He reads it out in English, and it's just like boggles my mind how effortlessly he does it as such. That cat must have been called by the fish, right? So, ano, neko, sakana ni, yobareta da. That cat, fish, and that means, that's a kanji character that means to call. So it's just like really confusing when you look at it like that, isn't it? So it'd be like, in that order, it'd be like, oh, that cat, fish, to call, but it makes sense when you're like, you know, I know, I've written out like this. You may be wondering how I got that anyway, you know, with the kanji character. That's one kanji character. I looked in my dictionary to get the answer to that one. So yeah, that's kind of neat. So, that translates on Google Translate pretty accurately there. That cat was called by a fish. But the reason I'm bringing this up for reals is partially to, like, just ramble on about Japanese a bit, and to show just how hilarious Google Translate is if you put, like, Japanese and pretty much any language. If you structure it not perfectly, it will become imperfect. Like this. That week's fish was called by a fish. How the fuck does that translate to that? All because you put that and cat together. You don't separate them, and then you get the translation. It's really confusing. I got some really weird translations. Like, I was like trying to read a visual novel, sound novel in Japanese, and obviously I couldn't understand most of it, and some of the translations through Google Translate were hilarious. Like something like, it helps to be touched when I sleep, or something like that. I was just like, what? What the fuck kind of translation is that? It's just really random translations. You know, like, just hilariously bad translation where it just makes a really awkward sounding sentence. But anyways, we will get on with the plot in a second. Wait, actually, no. Like I did last time, let's go over the word of the day first. How about... Toge, Mountain Pass. Now get on with it. That is definitely the Japanese scale. Komoe scale, I think. I think it's also used in the major minor scale, obviously, though. But that bit right there is definitely Kimiyoshi scale. I played my guitar when editing and shit, so I figured it out. It's also in A major. Well then, for our last stop, I'll take you to the place with the best view. It was slightly before evening, the sun was still burning brightly, but a cool breeze had begun to mix itself into the air. You know what? A moment. God damn, there's no room at my freaking desk to even hold my guitar. disastrous. Just wait for it to go around. Okay, this is the combined bit. How'd it go? Let's just wait for the nice bit and play that instead. I can barely hear it over my guitar. I don't know the rest of it though. Fuck it, it's sure freaking close. You know, it's the reason why I don't freaking play guitar in my videos much, you know, these days. It's because it's a fucking pain. God damn it, I freaking dropped part of the microphone. Well, it's stand. Well, I'm holding it, so fuck it, who gives a shit? My room is just too small to play the guitar at my desk. There's a pain in the ass to set up as well. That is why. And it doesn't really make a difference to any of you who are here for the story. If you're here for the story, then you're probably pissed off because I ramble a lot and this has been 8 minutes and nothing, so get on it. I just thought I'd play it along to this track before it potentially changes to a different one, you know. See, my exploration of Himatsubushi with Rika was just about done. It always happens, man. When I figure out something, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play that in the next recording, and I fuck it up majorly. The music is too low for me to freaking hear over my freaking loud guitar, and it's just freaking cramped here, man. It's like I got a desk, I got the chair, and there's literally no space whatsoever. Who's saying that? The place with the best view. Well, Rika-chan, where else could it be but the view from around the shrine? Hearing that, Rika-chan, mild even. In A major. Well, then I'll introduce you to my home, Akasaka. Huh? By Rika-chan's home, you mean? Huh? You mean how? How's who? The what? Who's speaking? I can't tell if it's Rika or the other guy. The shrine, through the shrine, there's an observation platform. You can see some real pretty scenery. Through the shrine? The girl who called for the shrine or whom? Rika. If I remembered correctly, her full name was Rika Frude. And Frude was, that's right, one of the 3 families. You know what? Let's freaking make it even longer, shall we? It's like, god damn it. I just really want to freaking be able to understand Japanese better, you know? I mean, think of the possibilities. If I could freaking read Japanese fluently really well, I could freaking LP visual novels that haven't even been translated. So, which one is her name? Is that it? It must be. Oh wait, there's that one, isn't it? That is the character for God and holy things and stuff. I don't fully understand it, but it looks like a waffle next to something. So Fruity Rika, maybe? I don't know, because you're saying Fruity here, right? So that must be Rika. So it's in her first name then, that character? Maybe? I guess. It's kind of odd, really, because when I think of, I don't know. It's like God in Japanese is Kami, so where the hell do you get Ri for that? It's confusing. I must click on it once again just to get it to respond. Oh wait, no, it's Fruity Shrine actually. Let's go back. That must have been used for shrine then, so never mind. Because that is a holy place, so it kind of counts. Is that your name in kanji? It looks nothing like what I thought it was. I don't really care right now. Let's get on with the plot, you tits. You tits. You tits. Anyways, even if the Sonozaki family is said to hold all the actual power, it is still one of the old houses that has some authority. More important than that right now was Fruity Shrine. If I remember correctly, I wish you had told me. Within the grounds of the Fruity Shrine, there were the offices of the Onigafuchi defense lines. And since I ain't around for Fruity Shrine with private property, the police comes afoot there heedlessly. And once again, I'm going to waste your goddamn time because I'm curious here. Where is that character? It should be in here if it's gonna be Onigafuchi, right? Is that it? It can't be. Is that the character I'm thinking of, or is it a different one? Well, that's where my handy dictionary comes in, isn't it? Yes. It was the character for Oni that was said to be like, oh my, it's actually in that, how eerie. How eerie that the village has Oni in it. Where is Oni in this dictionary? There it is. Okay, so it looks like, I see it now. This character right here. You know, the annoying thing about, you know, sound novels and all that is when I see characters like this, you can't copy and paste them or anything. So you're just like, what does that say? It's like, well, try put it back in English. Yeah, but it's not in the same order as English, so what character is he used for? Well, it's well, it's probably for Onigafuchi. Maybe it's there. Maybe. This part will go nowhere, and we'll be stuck on this page for a while. La 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 la. Where is the marsh in this dictionary? 'Cause I think it might have had the character that I seek. Marsh. There it is. Marsh, marsh, marsh. Marsh has marsh, marsh. There's the does it? No, I'm not seeing any resemblance. Actually, I think that might... Is it? Could it be? Is it? Yeah, what's that character doing there? Well, that's the character for death. What the hell was this? What was the original line? There were the officers of the Onigafuchi defense lines and since land around please turn your foot gauge. Where the fuck does death come into this? Defense, maybe? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean the character is only used for death-related words. Where is defense? Well, it's not in defense. How about alliance? Well, I doubt my dictionary has alliance in here. Could do, but I doubt it. Seems like one of those words they'd not put into it. Yep, it doesn't look like it's in here. So, who the fuck knows what that actually means? Through the shrine where even Oishi couldn't simply set foot into. Get on with the bloody plot, would you? The main base of operations for the Onigafuchi defense lines. Let's check it again. You got defense on there. Let's see if it actually is one of those. Yeah, it's right there. Onigafuchi defense line and seems to have a bit of death in its characters. Makes sense, it's Higurashi after all. Death is the norm around these parts. Is that Oishi's one, or is it, I freaking forget what the actual line was. Now that's Fruity's shrine, so Oishi's name must have been a bit to the side, maybe. Or maybe it was at the start. Probably was, because I saw deaths at the end, so I don't know. Let's just get on with it. I had been given the unexpected opportunity to enter there. I couldn't have asked for more. I'm looking forward to it. Please, if you would. Well then, let's get there quick. The weather seems to be getting a little iffy. And shitty. The sky had suddenly become overcast. Wouldn't be odd if it started raining again. Well, soon. The cat is as if trying to finish the daily allotment of chips before the evening crater even more vividly. Higurashi, when they cry. Get on with the plot, shoot it. Oh, see? Knew it eventually changed. The van stopped in the shrine's parking lot. Also parked there were numerous other vans with loudspeakers mounted on top of them to act as makeshift propaganda vehicles. On the side of the vehicle was scrawled, "The damn project must be demolished. Defend our homeland to the last. No warrior share summer's anger." Okay, that one's got my interest now. God damn it! It's because those freaking notes in the tips, remember that? It's like, oh, and Oyoshira's Nama uses these characters, right? And it's like, ooh, what could it all mean? Let's see if it really does. No, it doesn't. It's in freaking katakana. Oyoshira-sama no blare o blare. Whatever, I guess they don't have the, well, maybe it's because they don't want to spoil the meaning of its name, so they omit it at this point until a later point or whatever, I don't know. Or a slogan of a similar kind, they gave the feeling that even without using the loudspeakers, there was enough to overwhelm many onlookers. Vertical banners were erected in various places. The contents of those banners were similar. There were all objections against them, or crude insults towards the government. There were horizontal banners, placards, and so on and so forth. It proclaimed that without a doubt this was the headquarters of the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance. For Rika-chan, however, this hectic place was also her home. "We've arrived. I'm home." Rika-chan crawled over my lap and exited the vehicle first. Makino had noticed that I was looking at protest banners. You know, remember earlier in this recording with this stuff? Remember that? Listen to this guy, man.
Right now the enchantment of vision comes back. I'm sure it's gone to call its boss to be human.
See, he reads it. He reads it well. He reads it like a normal person. I don't read this shit like a normal person, do I? I ramble on and sing like an idiot. So it's just like, people would be like, some people might prefer my commentary style, but I imagine a lot of people would probably prefer getting straight to the point, that type. So you know what? Let's get straight to the point. The shrine also has the offices at the so much for getting to the point. I can't tell who's... Okay, it's probably the old guy. The shrine also has the offices of the anti-dam movement for you. Probably brings back memories of the anti-security treaty conflicts back in the day. Student movements against government policies, movements that supported on terrorist activity, were at one time commonplace, if only in order to garner global attention. Students holding out in lecture halls, brawling with the riot squads that charged in. It was an age where wasting one's youth like that was widely considered a road to glory. It was slightly before my time, and way before mine. I'm not really an activist or anything. I studied without instant and graduated without instance. I don't really agree with the violence or occupations they use to protest the government's policies. Oh, you have quite a nice opinion there. If you have an opinion on a policy, vote for the candidate who shares your view or enter the political world yourself and assert your beliefs in a lawful manner. That is the foundation of democracy. I don't think that's something you could challenge with violence. For a young'un, you have... wait. You don't have your speech marks, though, sir. For a young'un, you have some fine beliefs. I saw that feeling of respect reflected in Makino's gaze. Oh. That's why, then. At that moment, something tugged at my sleeve.
I have no idea what Akasaka is saying.
Rika-chan, feeling like she was only one who didn't understand the conversation, had a look of displeasure on her face. That expression was so charming I had to keep myself from grinning like an idiot. It's often said that a father wants to spoil his daughter rotten. I think I understood that feeling very well. Sorry, it was a little bit hard for Rika-chan to understand, wasn't it? Japan is a peaceful country, so you have to argue your point in a peaceful manner. You shouldn't resort to violence, in other words. No matter how much I explained, the girl who was just boasting about being able to carry digits over when adding things probably wouldn't understand. It probably wasn't something to talk about in front of Rika-chan anyway. Oh, serious face.
So then, Akasaka, how do you think we should keep our village from being flooded by the dam?
Even if I regretted my careless words, it was too late now. And I still speak her lines in a monotone of sorts. Is it a monotone? I don't know. Here I was at the main headquarters of an organization, tell them their way of doing things was illegal. Preaching that violence was not the answer. A complicated feeling had mixed itself in with the respect in Makino's gaze. It was then I finally realized. It wasn't that simple. There wasn't a soul who would argue that what I was saying wasn't correct. Using violence to get one's way was something that everybody knew you shouldn't be proud of. However, right now, Himatsubushi was in a predicament that couldn't be overcome with peaceful means alone. The legality of the Himatsubushi Dam project, through the efforts of the various propaganda campaigns enacted by the Onigafuchi defense lines, was being called into question. If they further strengthened their campaign, they might be able to suspend or change the construction plans. But that was at most just a possibility. If the government proceeded with the construction as planned, it wouldn't be long before this place was at the bottom of the lake. Again, go back to that. It was in the previous recording where I rambled about, like, legend kind of thing that I've been writing, which is creative writing stuff. And that's the exact same kind of thing, just like, a village that was submerged and became a lake. But what? And, well, basically, that's just like the backstory, isn't it? It's like, why was this lake? What was the origin of this lake? There was once a village, and it sunk, and the villagers that survived blamed it on these other people who lived slightly up and didn't get flooded. So they blamed them for the misfortunes, and and stuff. Anyways.
We can't live anywhere else other than here. We can't live in a city.
The words of this remarkable young girl were all too accurate, carrying with them the screams of the hearts and minds of the residents of Himatsubushi and the sound of Facebook notifications. Of course, there was nothing I could say to respond to that, but I will respond to the Facebook, so a second. I gotta click on it twice as usual. I could only respond to Makino and Rika-chan with heavy words with silence. Sorry, this isn't a problem that an outsider should lightly just poke their nose into, is it? I apologize. Makino, unsure of how to reply for a while, could only laugh pointlessly. That's nothing that concerns guests that make their home somewhere else. If you enjoyed here, please tell all your friends that Himatsubushi is a wonderful place, please. It would spread to dozens, maybe even hundreds of people. And that ridiculous plan to submerge this place at the foot of a dam will eventually fall apart. Now, really think about that. Imagine you lived in a place that was going to be submerged to make a dam. Wouldn't you be a bit pissed off? You'd be like, I grew up here, god damn it, and I still live here. You ain't doing this shit, man. It's like, you could always move, but that takes a lot of complicated shit. And it's just not the same. He followed that with a smile that said, please don't think much of it. Makino let me not worry that much really was the stroke of good fortune. Becoming infatuated with the idea of making friends with a little girl had made me completely forget my apprehension at being in enemy territory. Being reminded of this right before I was going to step foot into their headquarters might have been a good thing. If we'd had this exchange in the middle of their office, there was a short-tempered youth in there, they might have come at me. Beyond. Possibly. Thinking of how extreme they were, in the worst case, my life could have been in danger. It seemed that I looked quite Makino, thinking he had said something wrong, became flustered, trying to think of a way to improve my mood. Wait, who's saying what? Oh, I was a bit careless just now. I'm very sorry. Oh, don't worry that much about it. The sights you showed me around the village were all beautiful, wonderful places. I really don't want to come here one more time. This beautiful village is going to be submerged at the bottom of the lake. I can understand why you would fight so desperately. I'd somehow managed to use my desperate look to change the topic in my favor. After it, Makino had returned to his usual high spirits. It seemed he believed I completely sympathized with his point of view. Oh no, let's leave the talk on that for now. There's a place around here with a really great view.
Let's go, Akasaka.
Rika-chan, seemingly happy to be free from all the boring and gloomy adult talk, bounded up the stone steps. There was no real need to run, but in order to catch up with her, I also darted up the steps. Then tripped and smacked his face, I guess. No. There are several tents belonging to the town council erected on the shrine grounds. My battery is running real low as usual. Inside the tent were several folding tables and chairs, and a number of the elder town council members were livening things up with chit-chats. They weren't saying anything simply like, "The damn project must be destroyed!" It was just some relaxed idle chit-chat between local geezers. The normal sound of calming scenery. At the entrance of a shed that looked like a meeting place, there was a large sign erected with Onigafuchi Defense Alliance Headquarters written in bold brushstrokes. That's the thing with kanji characters, isn't it? It's just like, okay, stroke, this and that and that. I don't know how to freaking write kanji characters. It's like a specific art to it. It's like freaking drawing or painting. I mean, how the hell do they write it as normal on paper? Like, not like big freaking characters, but make it small, but illegible, you know? How the hell do they do that? I mean, it took me a while to get used to writing hiragana and katakana, but there's over 2,000 kanji characters, and every one of them looks like they'd be a pain in the ass to draw. Well, actually there are some pretty easy ones, but still, how the hell do they do it? That was their base of operations. To be honest, it was a bit of a letdown. If you asked what I had been imagining, this is a bit embarrassing, but I'd have thought it would be something much more dramatic, with barbed wire fences and barricades. My first impression of the place, though, was completely different from that. It looked like a simple backwater town hall. It didn't look like anything other than exactly that. The old folks who were chatting had noticed Rika-chan's presence. Well, isn't it Rika-chan? It's time for little kids to head on home.
This is my home.
The old folks guffawed since she wasn't wrong. From that exchange I could tell that this Rika Fruita girl was loved by everybody. Makino-san, who's that? Florist through phone. That's right, this is the mayor of Hinamizawa, Mayor Kimiyoshi. Okay, now I know who he is, I'll give him a proper advice. He smiled brightly, but there was no mistaking he would be scary if he got angry. By the looks of things, this old man was the president of the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance, not other than Kichiro Kimiyoshi himself. Welcome to Hinamizawa. What do you think? It's quite a relaxing place, isn't it? Yeah. I was able to appreciate a multitude of beautiful places throughout the whole day. I'm thankful for being granted this rare opportunity. Even though you're one of those youngins, you're quite a gentleman.
Ichiro, I want to show Akasaka a cool place.
She will show him a cool place next time. And you know what next time will be? It will be Rika showing Akasaka a cool place. But it'll also be my birthday when it's uploaded. You're just like, happy birthday. He's like, that'll be 26. Quarter life crisis, man. Just like, man, time, man. You never really think about it until like you get a year older and you're just like, I'm getting older. No, stop. My youth. It's like when freaking kids are all like, when you're a kid, it's like, oh, I can't wait to grow up, it'll be cool. And then you get, once you finally like hit your 20s or something like that, or even your late teens, and you're just like, fuck, this isn't what I just like thought it'd be better. This is pretty shit, actually. Yeah, fuck. Why did I freaking waste my childhood for this kind of stuff, you know? Whatever. So yeah, I don't know when I'll record the next part, probably tomorrow or the day after. But essentially when the next part's uploaded, it will be the day where I turn 26. I'm approaching the late 20s. Well, I'm still in the mid-20s, but still, god damn it. Anyways, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.